everyone, TNT here. Alright, so today we're going to be trying out the Caswell plating kit. The reason that I purchased this kit over using the kit that I made myself that you may have seen in my past videos is this one has an appearance that is almost chrome-like when you're finished, where the one that I made gives you that very dull zinc plating. For a restoration of a bike, you need that real shiny appearance, and I would have to spend time after polishing everything, and with this kit you don't need to do that. Now hopefully everything goes well. I've heard that some people have issues with this plating kit. Works great and then all of a sudden it doesn't. I think it really matters how you prepare the piece that you're going to be plating, as well as that you set all of this up exactly the way that it says in the manual. Okay, so let's just quickly go over what you get with the kit and what you don't get with the kit that you will need to buy. Alright, so let's see what you get with your kit. This is the 1.5 gallon kit. There are larger kits. I can't remember if there's a smaller one, but if you were going to get one, I would suggest you get this size. So we'll start right here. Everything on the bench right here, bucket side over, is what you get with your kit. Everything from this side over is what you don't get with your kit and you will need. So we'll start off over here. You've got your submersible pump. It's kind of like the pump that you find in a fish tank. It's just going to agitate the solution whenever you're using it, keeping everything moving in there. You've got your copycat zinc concentrate. You've got your concentrate B. What is this? Concentrate A, which is a liquid. Concentrate B, which is a solid. Then you've got your bottle of brightener. This here is a degreaser. Then you've got your 2 zinc plates. Then they send you a nice wheel to be able to do your cleaning. These things actually work really well. And then you get your manual. That's what you get with your kit. This kit cost me, I think by the time I got it delivered here, about $400 Canadian. Okay, so now over here, what you're going to also need for this kit, you're going to need a DC power supply that is capable of, oh gosh, I can't remember what the capabilities of that power supply have to be. You know what, I'll put it in the description. If you look right there, there's the model number that you can look up. You're going to need some acetone. You don't need a jug quite this big, but you are going to need to get some acetone. You're going to need a container. Today I'm just going to be using this little tiny container. We're going to be doing smaller bolts, but I will need a bigger one for some of the axle bolts. You're going to need a aquarium heater. You're going to need distilled water. You got to make sure it's distilled. You can't use tap water. There's chemicals in tap water. It has to be distilled. You're going to need some good quality alligator clips. You're going to need a chunk of copper pipe. You're going to need some copper wire. Let's see, I think that's it. That is what you will need for your kit. So if we just quickly look at some numbers here, let's say I paid $400 for the kit, another $100 for the power supply, so we're at $5. Say about $530, and then that was probably about $20, so $550, and then the alligator clamps and some copper, let's say another 20 is $570, and then your water. You're somewhere around $600 if you live in Canada to be able to get this 1.5 gallon kit. Alright, so that may seem like a lot of money to go out and spend on something like this, but remember, you get to plate bolts and whatever else over and over and over and over and over again. This kit lasts a long time. I'm not exactly sure how long the zinc anodes last or the concentrate, but I do know that people are plating, many restorations on one kit. So just to give you an example of what it costs to go out and replace these bolts if you were not going to replate them, we'll look at, say, a 2015 CRF 450X. You've got your front swing arm bolt, you got your rear axle bolt, and you got your front axle bolt. Not even including the nuts or any spacers, washers, or anything like that. Just the bolt. You're looking at about $50 USD per bolt. That's without shipping. Maybe if you buy all three, you get free shipping. But yeah, $50 each. So $150 worth of bolts right there. Now, smaller bolts you can buy aftermarket that closely resemble original. Bolt sells great products that contain a ton of the bolts that go on your bikes, and you don't even have to be concerned about plating them. Okay, so let's get back to the actual kit here and start to assemble this and clean one of my smaller bolts up and plate it. Okay, so I'm not actually going to be using their degreaser, so we're just going to throw that degreaser in a bucket, and I will probably use it later on down the road when I can get a heater that will heat the degreaser up to 160 degrees. But for now, we're just going to skip the degreaser. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add our part A and part B and our brightener to the pail. Now these are already pre-measured out, even though it says right on here mix 13 fluid ounces of part A, that is 13 fluid ounces. With 36 weight ounces of the part B, this is part B, they've already pre-weighed all of this for you, so you just need to put it all in the pail. All right, then we are to add a half of a teaspoon per 1.5 gallons of the brightener. Okay, so I already have some of this brightener, so I'm not going to bother to open this one. We're shooting for half a teaspoon, so we'll go with about half of this cap. All right, so now we need to add the water. 1.5 gallons is equal to 5.67 liters of water. So we need this full bottle. And now we need another liter and a little over a half. All right, now we're just going to stir it up a little bit. Okay, so while that's dissolving, we will prepare our zinc plates. Okay, so now we cut about a 1/4 inch strip of the zinc plate all the way up. So it's just about at the top. This will allow us to hang the plate into the tank. Okay, now we will place the pump in the water. Like we'll probably wind up sticking it to the side of the pail. Let's get our heater on the other side. Let's just have a closer look at that. So there you go, the pump is agitating it. Positive goes to your anodes, and the negative side goes up to your copper pipe, which is where you'll attach whatever it is that you're going to be plating. All right, so I've got my power supply set up. Basically, I've got the voltage set at about 6 volts, which should be fine for what it is that I'm going to be plating here. I've calculated the size of my bolt to be about 1.5 square inches. Then you're going to take that and you're going to multiply it by 0.14, which is the number that Caswell gives you. You can calculate the size of your bolt with a tool that they give you online on the Caswell site. And then the number, the 0.14, is actually in the manual that it tells you to multiply it by. So we're going to clean this in acetone. Let it sit in there for a bit. Now, plating anything, the nicer it looks before you plate it, the better it'll look after you plate it. If you stick something in there that's full of pits and pockets and maybe some damage or something like that, zinc color, the shiny zinc color that it's going to put on that part, it's only going to get amplified. So clean your part up that you're going to be plating as nice as you want it to look after. Okay, so we've had that sitting in the acetone. Now we're going to put it in some distilled water. Swirl that around in there. Over here. And put our part on. Now we're going to check, and I've already preset this. So I'm at 1.51 amps. I need to be at about 1.8. And there we're at 1.83 amps. We'll just turn that down, get it down to 1.8. There we are, 1.8, and it kind of dances around. Now, if you have a look inside, you can see that it is bubbling up from that bolt that we put in there. That tells you that it is doing its work. It's now plating like it's supposed to. And we're going to come back in about 20 minutes. Alright guys, that's it. Time's up. We've all seen plenty of these plating kits on YouTube with amazing results. Now I'm going to pull this bolt out of the solution and see if I achieve the same results. And as a bonus, if this all works out, right over here I have yellow chromate, which I'm going to add to this water, and we are going to yellow chromate this bolt at the same time, as long as it turned out. So let's see what happened. Okay, let's just rinse this off. Alright, let's take our bolt out and let you guys just have one last look at it. Look at that, guys. It looks amazing. Okay, and let's get that yellow chromate ready. Now I need to put 1 to 2 ounces in here. This is a 4-ounce container, so we're basically going to shoot for a quarter. I'm going to bring in solution down to about there. A little bit more. There we go. That was about 1 to 2 ounces. Now I think you're supposed to swirl this around in here for about 1 to 2 minutes, I think it said. Parts must be immersed for up to 1 minute, depending on depth of color that you're looking for. Alright, so let's just have a look at my watch here. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we got to hang this up to dry outside. There it is. Yellow chromate. Oh yeah, you can see on the side there where I touched it. Alright guys, so I actually stripped all of the yellow chromate and zinc plating off of that bolt that I just did. I didn't achieve the color that I was after. Alright, so we are now going to re-zinc the bolt. Another reason that I stripped the bolt was, for whatever reason, the head of the bolt right up at the very top here, it didn't have any plating right inside, so I cleaned it all up again. Let's put it back in the bath and let's plate it again. So let's yellow chromate it, and this time I'm going to be careful how long I've got it in there, because that was my issue last time. I just had it in there a little bit too long. Okay, and I think that's it right there, guys. That's what I'm looking for. Let's have a look at it. Alright guys, so now that we know that the Caswell kit does work, as well as the yellow chromate, and I think I still need to not keep it in the yellow chromate near as long as it suggests, or you wind up getting a pretty goldish color. Now, I don't know if you can make it lighter or not, I didn't have it in that bucket for very long. It's a little bit darker than what I want the bolts to look like. But now we're going to move on to a batch plating. Rather than just plating one item at a time, we're going to plate a bunch of items. Things are bubbling. We're going to be up around 3 amps. Alright guys, we got our batch. It's been in here for probably a little bit longer than 20 minutes now. So let's see how things worked out. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to have a look at our washer and our bolt first. Oh yeah. Right, now we will have a look at, what was this one? Oh, this was the bushing. Again, absolutely amazing. So there you go, there's the sprocket. Now I'm thinking sandblast, you'd probably get a much better plate than what we've got going on here. But I am going to quickly dip this in yellow chromate, just very quick. That's all I want right there. All right, let's just have a look at that. That was just dipped in yellow chromate for a very quick couple of seconds. Let's just have a look at that. So that is what I was looking for. Just that hint of yellow chromate. So you look at the difference here. There's, you know, in there for say about 20 seconds, and prior to this it was gold, which was about a minute, versus that. So there's the sprocket, there's the washer, which turned out just perfect, exactly the way I wanted it. I'm going to show you how black chromate works. So this is a Caswell kit, came with 2 bottles. You fill it up with 3.41 liters of water. Now the carburetor intake clamps are supposed to be black, so we're going to zinc plate them, and then we're going to dip them into black chromate to turn them black. Alright, let's have another look at it. Oh yeah, those are looking good. So I think that's good right there. Rinse them off. Alright, you can see how nice and silver they are. And here we go. About to get nice and black. Should be able to see it turning black already. That looks good. Give it a little more. That's 1. Make sure it's our desired color. Okay, so what I got here are 4 bolts, 335s, 140 mil. These are for the inner clutch cover or water pump cover off the motor. And these are all zinc plated. They're from the Bolt hardware kit. That we're going to dip them into the black chromate and turn them all black for this build. Alright guys, so for about the last hour and a half I've been trying to perfect this black chromate. In the beginning I was having a little bit of success by taking the hardware directly from the Bolt kit and putting it into the black chromate, but it seemed like it was only one particular size of bolt. It was a 25mm bolt, would take the black chromate and it was fine. Every other bolt was an absolute disaster. It would not adhere, or well, it wouldn't turn black, it would turn kind of gold and black, and very spotty, and then the bolt would rust after about 20 minutes. And alright guys, so check this out. This is the result of what happens if you just take the bolt hardware and put it directly in the black chromate. You can see it almost completely removed the plating from that one. That one there, it kind of turned it golden and black. So you have to take any brand new hardware and replate it. It actually stripped all the plating off. And I used muriatic acid, 5% muriatic acid, dropped all the bolts in there. You can get muriatic acid from your local hardware store. Be careful with the stuff. It is a chemical. It's used for cleaning concrete. It does a very good job of that. And it also removes plating remarkably with zero effort. You literally put it in 5% muriatic acid and then the rest distilled water, and it just completely removes the plating right down to the bare steel. Then what I did is I replated all of those bolts. So I'm still in the process here. I got about another 25 to go. But here's one of the ones that I replated. I replated it and then I put it in the black chromate, and it is absolutely perfect. This is now, I think, number 6 that I've done, and they've all turned out perfectly. And as you can see, they've been completely stripped. I'll try not to drip water into my black chromate here. Completely stripped with the 5% muriatic acid. Okay, go through the plating process now. Alright, that should be good. There you go. Oh yeah. Let's blow these off. Oh, they came out so good. So that's number 9 now. This is definitely the procedure that I would follow. So that's going to wrap up this video on the Caswell zinc plating kit. Was it worth the $600 in my personal opinion? Okay, so yeah, it is worth the money. If you're going to be doing this a lot, it is definitely worth the money. If you're going to be just doing it once in a while, probably not. Probably better to just get all of your stuff together and find somewhere that does plating for $150 for a batch of, you know, like 70 or 80 bolts. If you're going to be doing smaller bolts, maybe just look at getting a bolt kit. Alright, so I can't wait to get to the second stage cleaning on all of these parts and get them to the point where I can do all of this plating. I'm pretty excited now about how this looks. Alright, so if you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe, leave some comments, share with your friends. If you're returning to watch my videos, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next video. You're looking at about $45 USD per bolt before taxes, before shipping. So let's say you buy all 3 of them and you get free shipping. You're still going to have to pay taxes. You're going to be at about $50 each. That's $300 worth of bolts right there without even adding the nuts. The nuts are probably another 10 bucks a piece. So